So, America is really 250 years old. The United States of America has survived its 250th anniversary as an independent country, and we're marching forward. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Insights and Ideas, my video blog in which I share some of my thoughts about what I think makes life so meaningful, interesting, and worthwhile. It's an interesting question, and it actually requires some explanation and context. We all search for meaning in life. I think that's a given. I think that's obvious. But there are those of us like me who journey through life struggling to answer those foundational questions like, who am I and why am I here? And what should I do with what is my purpose for my life? Um, And for those of us who spend a lifetime asking those questions, it can sometimes seem like that the meaning of life is that it's meaningless. It's an existential kind of a problem if you've been confronted by disappointment and challenge everywhere you turn. um, I'm making today's episode very mindful that a dear, dear friend of mine started a wonderful nonprofit charity many years ago, and it's hugely successful. And it's known as Meaningful World. And I think that's a brilliant, brilliant name for that group and for what they do, which is to help people find meaning and purpose after trauma and disaster. And I do think that part of the solution for those who have suffered with trauma and misfortune and injustice and tragedy is to gather their heart, their whole heart and their whole spirit to find purpose and to find meaning and to figure out how they fit in life and to discover what a meaningful world it can really be. Now, why do I think that that's a topic worth putting out there in honor of America's 250th birthday? Well, I'm a litigation attorney, and one of the things I've experienced as a litigator is the task of tearing things down, cross-examining witnesses, impeaching witnesses, demolishing the other side's argument, and disproving alleged facts or allegations being brought against my clientele. It's almost as if the purpose of being a litigation attorney is to rip things apart and create uncertainty and doubt, leaving one bereft of direction and hope and vision. And maybe that's a sign of my burnout, but I've been doing this a very long time. And working in a profession like the law does make one a bit jaded sometimes about what you read in the newspaper, what you see on television, what our leaders may be offering us. And this is not an observation that's specific to today's political uh, tensions. This is something that I have experienced my entire conscious adult life, probably going back to July 4th, 1976, earlier, probably going back to the summer of 1974 when I was 13 years old, and unlike many of my age cohort, fascinated by the downfall of President Richard Nixon. Fascinated, glued to the TV, glued to the newspaper to try and grasp the sense of that moment. And to this day, I remain a skeptic, as I just said, about what our leaders tell us. And in the courtroom, I must be a skeptic because I had clientele hiring me to protect them and their unique vantage point, their unique perspective on a legal battle or a legal controversy, and to give voice to a perspective that may not be otherwise acknowledged and supported. But today's video is not a marketing video for my law firm. I have a separate YouTube channel called Coffee with Carl. This is not a coffee episode. Uh, in fact, I'm enjoying uh, a, uh, a non-alcoholic cocktail here in a New York Giants mug, which is a combination of sour cherry juice and lemonade over ice, because it is July and it is hot outside. Um, no, the purpose of this video is to allow those who find the time to sit down and listen to me give you a sense of what my meaning that I impart to life might be, and that maybe that's something that could help you find meaning in your own life, and your own experience, and your own journey through time, because life is a journey through time. Bottom line is, I think nobody can wake up in the day feeling that everything is meaningless. It's a very, very sad, confusing, and frustrating place to be if you wake up as an adult. I'm not talking about children, but as an adult, and feeling that everything is hopeless, meaningless, or a waste of time. We need purpose. This is part of what makes us human. I can't quote the author, but I know I've read somewhere that humans are the meaning makers. And what makes humanity so successful in many ways and so outstandingly different from all the other creatures that have ever inhabited the earth is the need to find some big picture. There's a German word for it, although I don't speak German, Weltanschauung. And there's a famous book which Dr. Ani Kalajian, my good friend who created that group Meaningful World, uh, looks to for her compass, by Dr. Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. Now, this is not Carl Berman, okay? Carl Berman has my own unique journey through life, and part of it is a real struggle against meaninglessness. So, to wrap it all up, because I know you don't have all day, I'm hopeful for America. I'm hopeful for the future. I feel that while much of the ideology that is associated with patriotic American values is suspect at best, and probably hollow, empty, contradictory, and meaningless. Nevertheless, I find purpose, I find hope, I find joy in my own way. And one of the things that does give me that sense of cohesiveness, so I can wake up every morning and kind of know why I should put the energy out there to go forward, is that technology gives me the chance to share all this with you in such a nice, casual fashion. You're perhaps having your healthy drink, or unhealthy. Maybe you're smoking a cigarette or a joint. I really don't care. And I'm having a healthy juice here and cheering on the New York Giants. See, that mug has got my name on there, even though I'm really not a football fan. But my family picked it out for me so that I could share in their excitement over Big Blue. All right. So happy day to you. Enjoy, relax, safe surfing. Thank you very much for stopping by to my video blog, Insights and Ideas. And I do hope you come back at some other time. And until then, thank you.